All eyes on Doge. Big run up. To the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up. To the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Saturday. How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. Today, we're going to talk about the future of Dogecoin. What is coming for Dogecoin? We can talk all day about the price action, do all the technical analysis, doodads and stuff like that. But what you really want to know is all of the stuff that I've been talking about that's coming for Dogecoin and why I'm excited for the fall. So we're going to talk about that. I'll go through these slides here or the tabs here, and then we will get to Q&A. Let me drop down here in the corner. And so for reference, first of all, again, Bitcoin. We lead with Bitcoin because as the market moves, mostly because of Bitcoin, but we have times when ETH was outperforming Bitcoin over the past few weeks, and Dogecoin outperforms Bitcoin in small windows of time, as we've shown on the charts. Doge goes on a big run, Bitcoin stays still, Doge outperforms Bitcoin. That happens in small windows of time. Sometimes it's twice a year, 3 times a year, something like that. However many times Doge does a big spike. Sometimes they're little spikes like we saw in July, right? But in July, Dogecoin did outperform Bitcoin over that window of time. Bitcoin, however, just had a historic occurrence here, and that is the 200-day moving average has just moved over $100,000. Many look at the 200-day moving average as support when we see a pullback, and to have the Bitcoin 200-day moving average be over $100,000, that's pretty epic. So, golf clap for Bitcoin. But that is good because, again, it supports the whole market. That's pretty good. Now, ETH. And of course, this is Crypto Rover, right? And he's a perma bull. We know that. Big perma bull. And he's looking at the global M2 money supply. And he's looking at the offset. The offset's now down to 70 because the trading hasn't really been following the M2 close enough. And so everybody's got different time periods depending on their own narrative, which is fine. Whatever. But global M2 is turning around and going back up. And if ETH and other cryptos do indeed follow the global M2, then we're talking banana zone. Of course, that was Raul Paul, right, talking about that a year ago, and he thought it was going to start in the fall of 2024, of which in November we did have one of those short periods of time, right, when all crypto was going crazy. But then the Trump tariffs hit and all the fear and the fears of recession and all that stuff, there was the big pullback. And on the big pullbacks, Doge drops harder than most other cryptos. Legitimate crypto, not talking about all the other memes, because Doge does tend to outperform the other memes over longer periods of time. What would change that with Doge, though? What would change that? Could it be utility? Alt season is coming, though. And we know alt season goes on these big runs. We certainly had the big run back in November, and then the pullback because of the tariffs, a little July pump, and now alts are moving up This is the crypto total market cap of all cryptos except Bitcoin on this chart. Looking at the 4-year cycles, we had 2017, 2021, and now 2025. We have not had that big blow off top, big run yet. So it's all set up on 4-year cycles. And as, of course, Kriss has been saying, fall 2025, blow off top coming. Is that 100% guaranteed? No. But things are starting to line up for all of that to happen. So, and what are you talking about ETFs getting denied? That's like, I don't know who's saying that, Shebda. I don't see that anywhere. Anybody saying Dogecoin ETFs are going to be denied. That's negative thinking. That's not going to help you win. All right? So, nobody's thinking that. I don't know where you're getting that. The SEC is pro crypto now. No, this isn't a question. This says negative sentiment like the ETF getting denied could temporarily depress Doge's price. That's not a question. That's a statement, and I'm just saying no. There's no negative sentiment. Okay? Yeah. Look at what RR says. He's speaking the truth. Not. Exactly. That is what I said in yesterday's video. Or no, this morning's video, right? 90% positive and likely yes. That was from this morning's video about Dogecoin ETFs. So, Shebda, if you haven't watched this morning's video, go to my YouTube channel and look at this Dogecoin ETFs video that I made this morning to get the real truth about Dogecoin ETFs. So, and whoever this other person is that said something about what happens if ETF gets denied, go watch that video from this one. Okay. We're talking about what's coming for alt season, and I believe Dogecoin's ETFs will be approved when I said in this morning's video, which would be like October 16th, right? The day before. We'll get the news, and October 17th is the 240 days from the SEC confirmation of the 19.4B filing, and it's all setting up for that. So, all right, Shebda, I gotcha. Well, to the other person who was being negative and questioning what if, I'm like, I'm not entertaining that what if. I'm not entertaining it. I'm 90%. I'm on the 90% side with Bloomberg. I mean, Bloomberg is the one saying 90%. So I'll stick with that. Okay. What are we talking about today? Got it. We're talking about this article. Now, this article is made by this account called AnonCoin. And I'll tell you who AnonCoin is as we go through the article. But this is about Dogecoin utility now. So all of those people that say Dogecoin has no utility, and all of these things that I've been saying are coming. Thanks, Sheb. Cool. Gotcha. I just saw the one comment and I was just like, that's so negative. I got it now. Somebody else asked the question. What we are talking about is this, Dogecoin's next chapter. And why is it called Dogecoin's next chapter? Because up to now, Dogecoin has been just a meme coin. It really has, just a meme coin. It's been talked about. It's been mined. It's been used to raise money for charitable causes. Elon was having fun with it 4 years ago, right? All the hype around it, it was still just a meme coin. But now, as I've been saying over the past number of months, that is changing, and we're going to talk about utility. So when people ask me, what's your price prediction for Dogecoin? What do I say now? I say, you tell me what the catalysts are for Doge, and then I'll give you a price prediction. Because without knowing what Doge does and doesn't do, there's no realistic price prediction out there, right? Because I could say Doge goes to 50 cents. I could say Doge goes to $5, right? Technical analysis on a chart is not going to tell you what the price is going to be for Dogecoin. What is going to determine the price is going to be, what does Dogecoin's next chapter become? What is the utility for Dogecoin? So let's break it down, okay? This guy does a really good job of breaking it down, although, again, I'll tell you where I think that he's a little bit partial to his own project, but I will insert where necessary. We know where Dogecoin started, right? It was a joke. Dogecoin was created as a joke about what was going on in cryptocurrencies back in 2013. But the thing about creating a cryptocurrency back then, particularly one with its own blockchain, was it's actually a real good crypto. As we have seen over time, by Dogecoin having its own blockchain, by being a proof of work cryptocurrency, and the modifications they made back in 2014 to take it from a random issuance of coins to the fixed 10,000 per block was actually a pretty good move. And now, as it has been working for 10 years, solid, safe, secure, consistent, reliable, it's Dogecoin. That's what Dogecoin is. Dogecoin is now the most powerful meme in financial history. There's no doubt about that. Over a decade later, Doge remains one of the most liquid, widely recognized, and culturally resilient assets in crypto. The question is no longer whether Doge is relevant. No, the real question is now, how does Dogecoin evolve into the next era of crypto adoption? And that is the utility behind Doge. And we can talk about Dogecoin as a currency as much as we want, but it's rarely being used as a currency. We see the same thing happening with Bitcoin. Again, I reference Isabella Santos in her 21-day series, BTC Isla, on trying to survive only on Bitcoin. It's tough to do. It's really tough to do. So what else is going to make Dogecoin relevant going forward besides just being a meme coin? So Anand says, look, there's three catalysts. One is the Doge ETF. The Doge ETF will give institutional liquidity and mainstream access to Dogecoin. Now, albeit tied up in an ETF and not actually functioning, right, as a currency, as we all think Dogecoin should be, but it does get more people aware of Dogecoin and increase the buying of Dogecoin, which then also gives more support for Dogecoin and attention to Dogecoin. So all of that happens with the ETF. And I covered a lot of that in this morning's video. Second, DogeOS. Now, we've been talking about DogeOS. I don't know when it comes out of beta and will be fully launched with all of the dApps and different programs that have been working on DogeOS in a beta format. Eventually, it's going to be released to everyone. Jordan hasn't said when that's going to happen yet, so we wait. But this is the programmability of Dogecoin and an ecosystem layer for Dogecoin. We'll get more into that in just a minute. And then we're going to talk about Anand Coin a little bit. And this is the guy who wrote this article. Anand Coin is going to be the launch pad for a new wave of meme coins, although they won't be coins. So that's the first error that the guy makes, because they're going to be tokens or something, all denominated in Doge, though. So what this is going to be is a pump.fun on the Dogecoin blockchain. Now, if we go back in time and when all of the meme craziness was happening back in 2021, Dogecoin was doing its own thing, right? With Elon and all the hype and all of that. But meanwhile, there were a bunch of people who were making meme tokens. Sheeb was one of them back in 2021. And it's a token built on Ethereum, launched on Uniswap. There were a number of others that were also being launched at that same time, either on Uniswap as an Ethereum ERC20 token, or on BNB, or in denomination of BNB, which is the Binance Smart Chain, BSC. So SafeMoon was one of those, if you remember SafeMoon, right? Which was supposed to have all this utility, but now we look back on it, it was really just a money grab for a bunch of people wrapped in what ends up being kind of its own meme in the end of all the people that fell for all the SafeMoon hype. But that's another story. Today, we're talking about launchpads for token creation in crypto. So that was all the rage, 2021 into 2022. But 2022, we were in a bear market. And there were a number of memes launched. Somebody launched one on Cardano called Snek. Snek had a tough time, right? But somebody tried. There was also one on Kronos called Miladies, if you remember Miladies. And then there was another one on Kronos too. I can't think of the name of it. But it got big for a little bit and then died off. So people were trying different things. Eventually, just a little under 2 years ago, somebody created Pump.Fun on Solana. And what happened? It became easier to create new tokens on that platform than any other in the past. In fact, too easy. And in fact, it was so easy that you had like kids like creating tokens and rug pulling them, which is out there, right, on videos and stuff of all of this stuff that was going on. But in the meantime, Solana was being used, right, because you had to have Sol in order to launch the token. And what happened was Solana went crazy in its price. The Solana price was going crazy because so many people were buying Solana and using it to launch meme tokens on Pump.Fun. So what is a non-coin going to be? It's going to be like a Pump.Fun, but on Doge, and everything is going to be denominated in Doge, and people are going to have to buy Doge and use Doge in order to make meme tokens. Am I a fan of this? No, I am not. Although I am quoting a non-coin here, I'm not a fan because we have way too many cryptocurrencies, okay? Will this be good for Dogecoin? Yes and no. Yes, in that people will be buying Dogecoin in order to launch new meme tokens on the Dogecoin blockchain, but bad in that what it's going to be the difference between these tokens and all of the ones we see going to zero on Pump.Fun. I don't like it, but it is what it is. It's happening. That's what we have. So together, what this is creating is utility for Doge. Now, we can still talk about Doge just as a currency, and House of Doge, BitOrigin, and others are going to be working on that with the Dogecoin Foundation, still pushing Doge as a security. But this side of it is the utility. DogeOS. What is coming on DogeOS? Let's get to it. First, before we get to that, ETFs. I covered the ETFs in this morning's video. I'm not going to talk about this much other than what I've already said. But Dogecoin as an ETF does have an interesting sort of attraction, right? And there are going to be investors who are going to have their stockbrokers saying, buy me some of that Dogecoin, right? Buy me some of that Doge. And they're gonna buy into the Doge ETF. It's not going to be at the same volume as we've seen Bitcoin and ETH. I don't think so. But there will be some. It will be buying of Dogecoin. And then you're going to have the ups and downs of ETFs, just like we've seen in Bitcoin and ETH, but this time with Doge. Now, at the same time, there's going to be a Litecoin ETF. There's going to be a Solana ETF. There's going to be an XRP ETF and a Doge ETF. Those are the ones that are all lined up between the beginning and the middle of October to launch. So there's going to be a lot of ETF stuff. But the Dogecoin, having Dogecoin as one of them, legitimizes Dogecoin in the investment world, which is cool, right? That's cool. So this marks a turning point for Doge. For the first time, Doge demand won't be constrained by infrastructure. Liquidity and credibility converge, and Doge cements itself as one of the few assets normies can easily own at scale. Not owning it, though. You're just buying the ETF. You don't actually own the Dogecoin, but maybe having at least the exposure to Doge might lead you then to further look into Doge, maybe find the KrissPax channel, maybe watch some of my videos and go, oh, Dogecoin, that's pretty cool. You can actually help change your financial being, right? Wean yourself off the banks. Don't rely on the ETFs, but actually buy and hold Dogecoin yourself. Now we're talking. So we have that. The next is DogeOS. What is DogeOS going to do, right? Because that liquidity alone isn't going to create longevity, and the whole use as a currency is going to come and go. So we have all of that. DogeOS makes Doge programmable. It introduces smart contracts, decentralized apps, and the token issuance under the Doge brand. DogeOS will enable developers to build dApps from gaming to DeFi to AI. All of that is coming for Dogecoin. It's all coming for Dogecoin. We're early. We are all still early in this whole Dogecoin thing, is what I've been saying. Most importantly, the shift matters because it aligns with Doge's greatest strength, and that is memes. People are going to have fun with this, but at the same time, having fun is going to be creating utility, building new fun games on the Dogecoin blockchain. It's going to be fun. And how you use Doge in those games is going to vary from game to game based on the developer of that game and how that's all going to be used. But it's going to be on the backbone of Dogecoin. That's going to be awesome. Memes are culture. Why is Dogecoin still around after all this time? It's the meme. Now, there are a lot of other memes from Pepe to all these others. Awesome. Love it. But Doge is the one that's going to have the most utility. Pepe itself on its website says Pepe has no utility. It's just a meme, right? They admit it. It's like, we're just a meme. We have no utility. But Doge, DogeOS will allow all of these Doge assets to be built, to be traded, to be scaled. Ethereum and Solana have shown what programmable layers can do, but neither carries Doge's cultural gravity. When memes are programmable, they belong where memes were born, and that is Dogecoin. So that takes us to a non-coin. All right. You already know how I feel about this, but a non-coin right now is going to be the largest launch pad on DogeOS. They've already made it, right? They're testing it out. It's a platform where new meme coins, and they're not going to be coins, they're going to be tokens, but they can be created and traded. So creators can launch new memes anonymously, communities can bid, trade, and speculate, and holders benefit, as every meme coin launch requires Doge liquidity. You got to have the Dogecoin, just like the Solana for Pump.Fun, just like the ETH for all of those launches on Uniswap. It will be for Doge, though, is what it's going to be. So I'm not going to say any more about a non-coin. I think I've said enough, but that is what is coming. Again, I don't know when this is going to launch for everyone, but it is coming. This is for Dogecoin. Very cool. Very cool. It is coming. And meanwhile, we have our friends at Litecoin who did tweet out today, Litecoiners support Dogecoin, always have, always will. I don't know what the background was of Litecoin saying this today, but Litecoin supports Dogecoin, and the Dogecoin account tweeted back saying Dogecoiners support Litecoin, always have, always will. Again, this goes back to Dogecoin, and this is what I tweeted yesterday. Dogecoin is a coin, not just another meme token. Doge is awarded to miners who validate the transactions on the Dogecoin blockchain, keeping Doge safe and secure, a true proof of work cryptocurrency. So with that, Dogecoin doesn't rely on ETH or Solana like all of those other meme tokens. Dogecoin has its own blockchain, has its own mining, and that allows you to earn Doge. Doge uses script mining, just like Litecoin. About 6 months into Doge's existence, there were some attacks happening on the Dogecoin blockchain. What happened was Litecoin came in and made a proposal to save Dogecoin because the Litecoin founder loved the idea of the Dogecoin meme and said, let us make our protocols the same so that they can actually be merge mined. Yes, merge mined, meaning if you're mining Litecoin, you are also hashing for Doge. And if you're mining for Doge, you can also hash for Litecoin. And so you can merge mine and you can actually earn coins from both of them at the same time while you're mining. This essentially saved Dogecoin from a 51% attack back in 2014. If you don't know what a 51% attack is and how dangerous that is for a cryptocurrency, just go to Grok and do a search on it, or any AI or any search. Just search 51% attack on crypto, and they'll tell you all the details of how that could be bad. Litecoin did essentially save Dogecoin, and this is in Dogecoin's history. So Doge supports Litecoin, Litecoin supports Dogecoin. There we have it. So Litecoin and Dogecoin living together. We're friends, we're buddies, we're tied together forever in the future, which will be pretty cool. So Doge is not a direct fork of Litecoin. So it is from a descendant of Litecoin, though. There was a fork of Litecoin that was made for Lucky Coin. And Lucky Coin is actually the open source code that Billy Marcus used to make Bell's Coin. So Bell's Coin was actually Billy's first cryptocurrency that he made. And it was off of Lucky Coin, also script mined, which was a fork off of Litecoin. Bells launched, and nobody used it. It failed miserably, and Billy admits it. This is like nobody used it, right? It was supposed to be this whole Animal Crossing thing, and nobody really cared. That was all in Billy's mind, right? Like how big this Animal Crossing thing was going to be, and it didn't happen. So that was Bells. And then when Billy saw the Jackson Palmer post about Dogecoin, Billy said, "Oh, I got to contact this guy." So Billy contacts Jackson and says, I can make this because I've already made the code. I can just change what I've already done and make it into Dogecoin. And Jackson heard that and says, "Oh, we got to do that." And so they actually made the cryptocurrency then. And with the Doge meme, it was so popular that it really took off. So that's what it took back in those days. So that's my deal on Doge. But Doge can survive forever just like it is. But in order for it to have more significance and really hold its own as a cryptocurrency going forward, I think it needs to have more utility. Anthony, if you refresh your screen, you'll see there's actually 47 likes. Sometimes on YouTube, your screen doesn't refresh and you see the likes just from the beginning of the stream. So, and actually, Ramon, the Honda Civic story is not true as well, because what Billy said at the time and what he told me when I interviewed him back in 2021 was, well, I didn't actually use the Doge I sold for the Honda Civic. I used it to pay my rent. I said at the time it was about the equivalent of the price of a Honda Civic. That's what he said. And everybody took that whole Honda Civic thing as being Billy sold all of his Dogecoin to buy a Honda Civic. And that wasn't true. It was actually to pay his rent. But it was about the equivalent in dollars of a used Honda Civic. So that's what he said. Again, I keep things real here. That's what we do here. So you know what you're buying when you buy Dogecoin. So, Mr. T, I know. I responded to you on X. I get it. I responded to your X post. I don't know what YouTube community and what its problems are. It's been having problems for a week. People posting, I don't see their posts. Other people post and then it doesn't post. I don't understand. I can't help you after that. I'm sorry. So, agreed. Jackson Palmer went down the rabbit hole way too far. Totally anti Elon Musk, and went on this whole campaign about grifters, and that was not cool for Jackson. Totally not cool. But Billy's a cool guy. Jackson, how are you? Little late. Had to go back to watch the beginning. Right. Cardano has an ETF lined up. Right. Cardano. That's right. I didn't include them in the list that I just gave, right? A little bit ago. Right. Cardano is lined up as well as XRP, Solana, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. Yeah, he did. Jackson definitely did. That's Jackson Palmer we're talking about, not you, Jackson. Jackson Palmer. Right, Kronos. He just needs to refresh. Just needs to refresh YouTube, and then you'll get the most recent count of the number of likes. You would think that everybody's YouTube app, or if you're watching on a computer, the likes should keep up with the current number. Google doesn't care. They don't care. They're making so much money off of they're making so much money off of YouTube that they don't care about those little things. We care about them, but they don't. No, SWE does not have an ETF. The only ETFs that are out there are Bitcoin and Ethereum in the United States. And then there's one Solana type product that kind of works like an ETF, but is not totally an ETF. The actual legitimate ones are coming out in October as well. We can go to, I will show you the chart. I will show you the chart again. I showed it on this morning's video, but for the purposes of you guys, I'll show you the chart. It's from this guy, James Seifert. He is with Bloomberg. And he has, and I just go to the media and I scroll down until I see his altcoin ETF list, which is blah, 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 right there. So there it is. So we've got Litecoin. It's 240 days from the date the 19B4 was acknowledged is October 2nd. Solana is October 10th. XRP is October 17th. Dogecoin is October 17th. And Cardano is October 23rd. So Cardano's is right after, about a week after Dogecoin's. So these are the ones that are in play right now. Okay? These are the ones that are in play for, yeah, here's the list. Sorry. This is the most recent one. Dogecoin at a 90% odds of approval. 90% odds of approval. So, yep. So this is the list. And this is, Bloomberg has been watching this, these guys. We'll see. Now, SWE had one from Canary that was applied for. And Tron also has one that is applied for. And somebody said Pengu had applied for one, but I haven't seen that yet. But yes. Well, isn't that the question? Some fox. Isn't that the question? Will the price go up? If there's more buying and selling, the price goes up. So if the ETF is a big hit and there's a lot of buying, then the price goes up. If the ETF ends up being a nothing burger and nobody cares, price isn't going to go up because of that. Now, there could be other things going on that helps the price, but whether you peg it directly to the ETF or not, we'll see. Dogecoin to the moon. You grow. The moon is whatever you think it is, right? There is no coin built on the Dogecoin blockchain today. There will be someday, but it won't be a coin. It's just going to be a token, and it's going to use Dogecoin as gas. Just like SHIB is just a token. It's not a coin. Kronos reminds everybody to smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Get your notifications on so you know when my live streams start, as well as when my videos come out. Thank you, Kronos. Appreciate it. And you can also follow me on X because I do post when I'm not here on a live or not making videos. I am posting on X. So check me out there. I am at KrissPax on X. So check me out there. Now, if you get a message from me through WhatsApp or Instagram or Telegram, I am not on those. That is not me. There are also alternate X accounts that have been made that are not at KrissPax. They're at KrissPax Community or at KrissIPax, or There's a few others. Of course, I block them as soon as I see that they're there. Some people have brought them to my attention. Thank you for that. I block them and you can report them. I appreciate that because they're trying to scam people. And I don't like that. But I am not on WhatsApp. Don't have a WhatsApp. I'm not on Telegram. I am not on Instagram. Just here on YouTube and on X Twitter. So the Pengu ETF is posted on Luca Netz's X. So there was one, I heard one was filed for, but I have not seen an actual SEC posting about it. Doge is still a good buy because retail isn't hyping Doge yet. Yep. It's just us. It's really just us right now. Going up and down, up and down. You grow, going crazy with some leverage. 26x, dude. Good luck. Good luck. If Dogecoin went to 75 cents, Ramon, you and I and a lot of people here would be very happy. 75-cent Dogecoin again would be cool. Wait, so you didn't leave me a voicemail this morning asking for 2 Bitcoins? Yeah, what? Okay, I'll look at that later, Mr. T. I will look at that later. We do have some liquidations going on. I did hear the ping a little bit ago. What was that? It was ETH. It was ETH of short at $486,000 on ETH. Yeah, this little leg up here took out a new short. Who's shorting? This other guy's going long. Grow. Going long. Well, good luck. We have Dogecoin holding right at 23 cents right now. We'll see how it goes. See how it goes. I try and stay away from the politics. I mean, we did show the Bitcoin, or I mean how Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge responded during the news conference yesterday between Trump and Putin, just because we thought there'd be some volatility at the time. And there was a little. When Putin talked, we had green candles. And when Trump started talking, we had red candles. Basically how that worked. We were watching that. We had the green come up for Putin, and then we had the red come down for Trump. And then after Trump was done, then we had Doge just going back up. But we also earlier had Doge going up when the rest of the market was going sideways because of the Grayscale announcement for their ETF. So that was cool. The leverage clowns. A lot of people make money trading with leverage, but I stay away. I ain't doing it. You can just get killed. And I don't want to lose my Dogecoins. This is about coin count. And if you're putting your Dogecoins up on a leverage trade, either short or long, if you get liquidated, you lose those Dogecoins. What is meant by going short or long? Sure. Good question. Let's go to our heat map, and I will show you. We'll use Dogecoin as an example, all right? Let me just go to the Dogecoin. I go to coinglass.com. I hit liquidation. Go to heat map. I hit symbol. Oh, this is a good one too. Bitcoin is a good example here because Bitcoin's just been going sideways all day, right? Bitcoin's just going sideways. It's not moving up and it's not moving down, right? So this is a great example right here. So here's Bitcoin, just going sideways, right? Now look on this heat map. You see these green and yellow lines up here above the current price? And now you see these yellow and green lines below the current price. Okay. These guys, these are all trades, right? Below and above. These ones below are all trades by people that think the price is going to go up from here. And not only are they buying Bitcoin, but they're actually using leverage. And they're making a trade which allows them to make twice the profit, or 5 times the profit, or 10 times the profit, or like our friend Grow here, who set a 26x trade on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does indeed go up, these trades, long leveraged trades, are going to make a lot of money. They're going to make a lot of money. Now, on the heat map, you don't see how much leverage is used on any of these trades. All you see is what the liquidation price is, which means right now, the price is $117,600. That's the current price. If you make a leverage trade, and I'm being very high level, there's a lot more detail and intricacy to this, but when you make that trade, there is what is called a liquidation price that is lower than the current amount. And that varies depending, on some places it varies depending on how much leverage you actually use. It can differ by exchange. But let's say you make a big 10x leverage trade right here at 117,600 because you think Bitcoin's going to go up. Well, you'll have a leverage price down here at about 116.5. Let's just say, right? Current price is 117.5. Your liquidation price could be 116.5. Meaning, if the price goes down to 116.5, you get liquidated. Meaning your trade gets closed by the exchange and they keep all your money. You lose. Likewise, we have a bunch of yellow and green lines up here. These are the people who believe the price of Bitcoin is going to go down from here. So they're shorting it. They're shorting Bitcoin. But they're not just shorting it 1-to-1. No, they're also using leverage. Shorting with leverage. 2x, 5x, 10x, whatever. So they're going to make a crap ton of money if the Bitcoin price goes down from here. Instead, if the Bitcoin price actually goes up, while these guys using long leverage are making money, these guys using shorts, right? Betting the shorts, they're going to get liquidated. So what would be common and what we normally see is we'll see the Bitcoin price spike up, take out a bunch of shorts, and then it'll dive down and take out the longs too. That's what the exchanges and the market makers would love to happen. Or it could be the other way, right? All of a sudden, there's some piece of news or something that's really negative. The market makers are going to dump the price, take out the longs, and then they're going to want the price to come all the way back up to take out the shorts too. This is generally what moves the market, is this play between the shorts and the longs and the market makers. Generally how it works. So that's a quick overview there. Again, high level, there's a lot more details to it. Different exchanges have different rules, different ways you make your trades, etc. There's also a fee to make a trade, and you have to keep a trade open. You've got to pay more fee. There's all of those kinds of things. I'm not going to get into all that here. I do not trade with leverage. I do not short. I am DCA, buy on the dips, buy and hold, reap the rewards when the price goes up. That's how I trade. I don't do this. I'm just showing you kind of how it works. It's like gambling. Yes. It's legitimized gambling is what it is. Here's Dogecoin. So Dogecoin's at 23 cents. Now we did have a dip here early this morning, and that dip in Dogecoin took out some long leverage trades. We had some shorts get taken out here last night when the price of Dogecoin went up, and the heat map shows you that. Right. Sideways is the calm before the market makers feel like stealing people's money up and down. Exactly. Exactly. And the market makers are doing it on behalf of the exchanges, because the exchanges are the ones that lose if those leveraged trades are profitable. That comes out of the exchange's profit. If they have to pay out somebody who did a 26x long on Bitcoin, the exchange pays that. But when it gets liquidated, the exchange keeps all the money, and they let the market makers have whatever they get, whatever the deal is between the exchanges and the market makers. The market makers make money if they take you out. Right now, there's low liquidity, there's low volume. It's really tough to move the market right now. Everything's just going sideways. But that doesn't mean there isn't some low-level liquidations happening, because there are. And you can go onto the main CoinGlass liquidation page, and you can just use the default value, and you can see a lot of the lower dollar trades being liquidated. Looks like Epic had both a long and a short liquidated on 2 different exchanges. So there's something fishy going on there. But yeah, it's pretty quiet right now on the liquidation front, because again, it's low volume right now. Not a lot of movement happening. It's like XNY is going up again, taking out some shorts. But yeah, you can see this is all data that is public information. So, and they come from these exchanges: Binance, Bybit, OKX, HTX, Gate, CoinX, Hyperliquid. So these all have these APIs that CoinGlass then ties in and feeds in to get all of this data. And so this is all data that is out there. And in real time, you can see who's getting wrecked. So that's what's going on. Anthony, if you're going to use leverage, it's much better to use a regular personal or business loan than to use leverage on an exchange. No. Don't get a loan. This is financial advice. Do not get a loan to make a leveraged trade, particularly in crypto. That is just has disaster written all over it. Because then not only do you lose your trade, but you still own whoever you borrowed the money from. No. Don't do that. And that is financial advice. Do not do that. So maybe the sideways after a big dump is waiting for more people to short so they can pump it up later. Yep. There's a lot of that goes on. How do they liquidate someone's account? No, you make a trade and you actually have to give the money to the exchange to make the trade, right? It's not your account, right? You're actually moving coins. Like you're going to make a 10,000 Dogecoin trade on a leveraged long. You're actually giving the exchange 10,000 of your Dogecoin, right? And then that Dogecoin is locked up in that trade. And then when it gets liquidated, the exchange says, thank you. I'll just take that Dogecoin and now it's mine. That's how it works. I don't know if they're going to regulate leverage. I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, you can do puts, right, and calls on stocks, right? And there's a lot of naked shorting that goes on by different funds. I mean, that whole Mellon Capital thing, remember that, with shorting GameStop, right? That wasn't illegal. Should have been what they were doing and how that all worked. It's no different in crypto. Go into casino. Look how many people are on the floor. And then go to the cash out window. I know. The hardest thing to do in a casino is when you hit a big win, just close out, take your little ticket. You used to get paid in coins, right? You used to have buckets, right? And the coins would come out. Now you get the ticket. You walk away from the machine. You go to the cashier. You get the cash. You say, thank you very much. And then you leave the casino. Leave the casino. Take your cash and leave the casino. Don't go back and put more money into another machine thinking you're going to win more. No, 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 no. That's what they want you to do, so they take the money back. If you're playing in a casino and you hit a jackpot, cash out. Cash out. Enjoy the win. Go have a nice steak dinner, right? Don't turn around and go back in and put it in another machine. No. Don't do that. Right. No loans. No loans. Let's go. Hey, Byron. 25 cents tonight. Yeah, we got no volume. Look at this. There's no volume. No volume. Nothing's moving. These are just the bots trading up and down. It's all we got right now. You're welcome. Oh, did I say something that perked up somebody's ears? Casino, perhaps? The Machinos people. Oh, man. Pengu looks like it's building gradual stairs. I like the thought of that because I still have my Pengu, my pudgy penguins. Yeah, look at that. All right. Recovering up. Nice from yesterday's dump. This is good. This is good. We want Pengu up. Let's go. Let's go. Pengu. Bitcoin is just sideways. The Doge hype comes and goes. When Doge was first launched, it was just a fun, cheap cryptocurrency. You could buy 1 million of them for hardly anything. And people were just tipping everybody and like donating Dogecoin here and there because it was so cheap. And all of that just eventually got to people's heads, and then they started finding ways to take other people's Doge. And that's what soured Jackson Palmer and Billy Marcus on the whole Dogecoin thing, when people started taking it as like an investment you can make real money on instead of just the playful nature it was supposed to be. And then Dogecoin kind of died for a couple of years. After the bear market, 2018, 2019, nothing was happening. But there were some longtime holders, and there were some people who still believed in the meme and having fun. And they nominated a CEO of Dogecoin for the fun of it. And one of the people that they put on the list was Elon Musk, and he won the vote on Twitter. And that all started the re-hype with Elon, and 2020 into 2021 happened and all the craziness. So it's kind of how it worked. Thank you, Maramello. Can Pengu do what Doge is doing? Yes. Pengu has that meme ability, particularly in Asia, like the Koreans. They love the penguin and all of that. And it already has all the NFTs, right? So yeah, Pengu can be huge. It's like a tug of war. But the tug of war is kind of based on the news that's going on too. Like if you think there's going to be some big black swan event, like some terrible news, right? That's going to dump the market, then you're going to want to be shorting. If you're gambling like that, then you want to short. But if you think that it's going to go up from here, then you do a long leverage trade. Maybe in the fall, liquidity will come back. Exactly. We're in August. Now we're like the last half of August. They hit an all-time high on total too. Is that right? Wow. That was Thursday, it looks like. Thursday. Yep. That was Thursday, $1.68 trillion. So that's all cryptos except Bitcoin. If you take the market caps of all cryptos except Bitcoin, it hit a all-time high on Thursday. This will go wild like it did 2021. This, put a box around it. Again, this is what I'm talking about, these short windows of times, right? Alts, right? This is altcoin total market cap going up by 800%. 800% in like 4 months. And then we had the second half, right? After the summer dip in 2021, we had another run like that. And then we had a bear market. And then we had alts do this run here, the beginning of 2024. And then we had this one, which of course was November of 2024 when Doge went up to 48 cents, right? Very short, narrow window there. And now we have the current run happening, which is just starting, in my opinion, and will go higher. This is when you want to be in alts. You don't want to be in alts after we hit the peak. That's when you don't want to be in alts. Dogecoin is the same. Dogecoin had one other big run here at the end of 2022, which was when Elon bought Twitter and Doge spiked up more than the total two did. But then it immediately got dumped back down when FTX went bankrupt. So yeah, this right here was the bottom in red. That was the bottom of the bear market following the big 2021 run. Since then, we've had 3 runs on alts that have happened. Early 2024, late 2024, and now. July into August here. And this one is still going on. So. That's how crypto works, particularly with alts. Bitcoin does something different than this, but this is how the rest of crypto works on these big runs. You're headed out to take your folks out to dinner. Have a good night. ETF approval, easy 2x. We'll see, Christian. Should buy some Pengu. Yeah, not blocked. Maramello. Change the chat to all messages at the top. Will Doge outperform ETH? In certain windows of time, yes. When Doge goes on its big run, it will outperform ETH. Over a longer period of time, probably not. Yeah, everybody's ignoring you, Sean. Yeah, people just need to make sure that they're seeing all messages. Yes, you haven't blocked anyone. I haven't heard anything new on SuchPay. Shaj, haven't heard anything. I'm rather disappointed in House of Doge right now. It's like, come on. I mean, Tim Stebbing at least showed a post of like all of the devs kind of having an online meeting. So we know people are working on something, but oh. Okay, Charlotte just posted, can you see me now? So if anybody can't see the buy Dogecoin or else account that just posted a chat, you need to make sure that you set that you can see all messages. How can you set an alert on your computer? For what, Wilfred? For what? Yeah, or else. The or else part comes in. You lost $5 to the horse. The horses owe you. Now you're starting to sound like Charlotte. Oh, that's funny. They owe you. Oh. Half of you still need to be hitting that like button. Useless. I told people about Useless 6 months ago. Of course, I should have been buying Useless as well, and I didn't. But Useless has already gone on a huge run. I don't know if it's going to keep going from here or not. You might be chasing now. Hey, David. I'm good. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. This really makes you want to gamble now. Well, you'll be able to gamble on new tokens being launched on Dogecoin very soon. Very soon, my friend. Playing the meme coin game on the Dogecoin blockchain. Faithfulness, good to see you. Can Dogecoin go up? Yes. Muji. Will Dogecoin go up? That's what we're watching. That's what we're watching. Yes, I know you. You will. You will have too much fun doing it, though. Just don't get burnt. Please. Try not to get burnt. Settings corrected to all messages now. All right. We're all going to make it except the degen gamblers that are going to over leverage themselves, borrow too much money, and then they're going to be one of those coinfessions on X or Twitter. If you read those coinfessions, God, they're so depressing what these poor people do. They make a ton of money and then they think they can double it and they end up losing it all. It's like stuff like that. And it's just like, oh my God. No, you walk away from the casino if you hit it big, which includes any investment in a stupid crap shit token. Book your profit. Take it. Take it. Never is a very strong word. bring the chaos. Never. Very strong word. There will be more Dogecoin NFTs. There already are. The Doginals are already out there, but there's going to be a lot more made with the new DogeOS. No, I don't think everything crashes if in September the Fed doesn't cut rates. Nope. Everything doesn't crash. Will the markets dip? Yes. Crash? No. See, the I told you thing doesn't really work well here, John. It doesn't work well here. Don't get burnt. Take profits. Exactly. Oh, you're so negative. So negative. Dude, do you know how to trade? I mean, seriously, do you know how to trade? You know what Dogecoin has done? God. Casino needs to be on the naughty word list. Ah, no, that's all right. And so most cryptos are at the same price they were 4 years ago. Most. Okay. So this would be a time to buy before the next big run, right? You want to make money or not? Yes, John, that's because it's my channel. It's not yours, okay? If you want to do the I told you so's, you can make your own channel. I'm the king here, remember? I'm the king. I bought Bitcoin at the top. I'm the king. This is my castle. Welcome, everybody. Oh, all alts are scams. Oh, you're one of those. I got it. Got it. We'll have fun with your Bitcoin. And you can do fine with Bitcoin. Awesome. We're just having a little more fun outside of the Bitcoin maxi world. That's all. We're having a little more fun. Jasmine will go on a big run at some point in time as well. Yes. KrissPax buys at the top so we don't have to. Exactly. Exactly. And not even our friend Bring the Chaos was able to buy Bitcoin at the top like I did. Because that takes exceptional talent. Anybody can sell the top, but who buys the top? Now we're talking. Hey, Bundles, how are you? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Gambling online. Oh, you are trouble, Miss Charlotte. You are trouble. King Kriss, Bitcoin top. I did it. Woo-hoo. Had a stand-in teacher at 9th grade. She introduced herself with, I am the queen and you are my subjects. That's awesome. Because you can do that as a sub, right? Whatever. You can say whatever. You're in front of a bunch of kids. I'm the queen. Awesome. I am the king of the world. Well, at least the KrissPax world. When I first started, I was buying at the tops. I lost a fair bit, but that's how you learn. Exactly. And me buying the Bitcoin top was for engagement, right? It was for fun. It was, and also to make a point, right? I was making a point by doing that. But it is kind of funny looking back at it and saying, yeah, that was the exact top. That was the top. Now, is it the top for the whole cycle? Probably not. I still think Bitcoin's going much higher than 125, but for now, it's the top. The reasonable price now. Will we see another dip back down to 22? Maybe hit 21.99 again? That could be on the table. It's very strong resistance now, though. So yeah, 21.99 is still possible. Could it drop lower than that? I never say no, because I know. Never say never, right? Never say never. But low probability. Low probability of that. We're still in August. Right now, it's just low liquidity, not much trading going on. Things just kind of going sideways. Break out to 30 cents. That would be nice, but I'm not expecting it anytime soon. Yes, you are trouble, Charlotte. Yes. Won't be the top in the next cycle. I don't think it's going to be the top this cycle yet. I still think Bitcoin's going to go higher. We've got this whole fall for the rest of the cycle to still play out. So Ryan likes trouble. Right. It was $10. The whole idea was for the fun of it, right? I spent $10 on Bitcoin at the top to have fun. It's $10. You know what that $10 is right now? Let's see. Let's see what that $10 is right now. I'm losing money. Losing money on Bitcoin. That $10 is now $9.42. I've lost 58 cents. I'm down 58 cents, over 5%. But there it is, my average cost. And you'll see it right here. Nobody else can show this. What my average cost is of Bitcoin. $125,093. There it is. Nobody else can show that. $125,000 average cost on Bitcoin. There's nobody else. I'm the only one in the world. I'm the only one in the world that can show this. Average Bitcoin cost of $125,000. You are seeing the only one. Epic, exactly. It was an epic purchase. I was not expecting that, but I thought I would still hit 124 or something, but no, Robinhood gave me 125. That is talent, my friends. That's just talent. 125. King of the hill. Oh. Did you see the pump and dump on stock called Fly 3 days ago? I did not. On a stock, huh? The Fly E Group, NASDAQ. Looks like it had 2 violent trading days here. Thursday, and then the Friday dump. Overall, why did it dump 22%? I mean, I don't know. There might be some bad news about it or something. But why did it go down to $1? Oh, wait. No. Oh, I see what happened. It got stopped out. It looks like it got stopped out. I wonder what happened with this company. 88% drop. Something happened there. Jeez. What is this? What does this thing even do? Fly E Group. Yeah, that looked dangerous. I didn't hear about that one, but man, that looked bad. 30-cent Doge after the rate cuts hit, and then 50 cents at least after the ETF. Now we're talking, right? That's what we want to see. Big numbers go up. Hey, Angel. Yeah, I'm still thinking 2026 is going to be a bear. So, again, I will be taking profits near the end of 2025. I'm not holding through 2026. That's just me, though. Again, that's just me. I will keep some Bitcoin. I will keep some Doge. Everything else is going to be sold, and I'll have it on, in USDC earning interest or buying power on Robinhood earning interest. Maybe I'll play with some stocks or something, but I'm not going to have all of that crypto in 2026. I'm still a believer in the 4-year cycles. Is Bonk coming up? Bonk. Bonk. Up to 24. This was my average down here, which it came back and hit this blue line. So back up. Let's go. Let's go bonk. You're on the road, Ryan, listening in. Mike, how you doing? When Powell leaves the Fed, they'll probably drop it down. That's not till May, though. That's next May. So got a long ways to go before that happens. Cartesi? What is Cartesi, Kriss? Is that a stock? Cartesi. Early this morning, it went on a 50% run. Why? Don't know. 50% run. Hey, every day it's something, right? Today it was Cartesi. Yesterday it was this one. XNY. This was yesterday's. Kodata. Boom. And this is over 50% on Kodata, XNY. And then look at it come back down. That's why when you see these kinds of things on these low market caps, you take your profit, you book it. You don't ride it all the way back down. It's the same thing. You hit a jackpot on a slot machine. You take your little ticket, you go to the window or the machine, you take your cash and you leave and you say, thank you very much. Thank you very much is what you say. Which we should do with Dogecoin if it hits 73 cents again. Don't have to sell all of it, but enjoy some of that profit when you get it. What is this thing called a green candle, Ryan? I know, right? Watch the beginning of the live stream, Muji. And you'll see where I think Dogecoin will be in 3 months. A golden cross is not going to make Cardano go on a 10x move. I have no hope in SHIB, Patricia. SHIB might go on a little run. When that does, if you're holding SHIB, sell it, book the profit, say thank you very much, and move on. It's been nothing but 2 years of just lies. Lies upon lies upon lies from Ryoshi and the Doge or the SHIB developers. It's been nothing but lies, making up stories. Correct. I'll probably be playing with stocks, and I don't know. Bull Run is trying to talk me into doing some shorting on cryptos, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do shorting or not, but if I'm going to do any shorting, it'll be 2026, and I might try it out with a small little bit, because I've never done it, and Bull Run is trying to talk me into it. So maybe I will do that in 2026, but I am not buying a lot of crypto in 2026. I will not be. Sell at this price. Why would you want to sell at this price when all of these good things I talked about in the first 10 minutes of this live stream are still to come? You can if you want. Now that you don't have a house payment, I'm paying taxes on my capital gains, Tim. I'm paying taxes on my capital gains. That is where my income is going until next April. After that, now we can talk about traveling and doing a lot of other things. But until then, I am paying taxes. Big capital gains taxes. Did somebody say slot machine again? Next May will be a great month. We'll see. Thank you very much. Luna Classic making moves. Luna Classic. Wow. You're feeling a bit effort. Feeling a bit effort. You like the proof of work coins opposed to the tokens? I am too. I am too. Dogecoin, Bitcoin. That's my crypto future. I'll be getting rid of everything else. The whole bag going short, 2026. That's right. The whole bag, right? So right now in the United States, there's not really a platform for shorting. You got to go on one of those non-KYC VPN accessed exchanges that reside somewhere overseas, and it's all a big risk. So, yeah. Bull Run was here last week. Low roller, it's been a few weeks. Yep. Exactly, Adam. Right. I'll do a short. I'll do a small amount. I'll make it 10 or 20x, and I'll be like, let's do it again. Right. The greed will get to me, right? It'll be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Maramello, a lot of people are going to have some targets, and we're going to be talking about ways to maybe take slices of profits. It's not all or nothing at some certain price, just as a strategy. we'll be talking about that. Half is good. If you have a plan, right? Take half, keep half for if it keeps going higher. That's better than the all or nothing approach, in my opinion. Let's go. Let's go. 21 cents. I don't know, Angel, we'll see. And with your luck, you'll hit a few times and then you won't, right? Exactly. That's how it is for everybody. You know, the casinos always end up winning, right? The exchanges always end up winning too. The exchanges always end up winning. Binance makes so much money. Let's all short XRP together. I'm in. I'll short XRP. I'll short that and I'll short SHIB. If SHIB goes on a big run, I'm shorting it all to hell. I will never short Dogecoin. Can't do it. I mined. The GPU died. You waited a decade and you made 100% profit. There you go. Yeah, it's a boring day across crypto. Did you see the heat map on Bitcoin? Look at this heat map on Bitcoin. You talk about a boring day. Look at this. This is the heat map on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is sideways. Bunch of shorts up here, bunch of longs down there, but it ain't moving. It is just sideways. That, my friend, is a boring day. When you see that on Bitcoin, it's like, man. But this is why I went and I talked about Dogecoin's coming utility, what is being built for the future of Dogecoin. So if you guys are interested in Dogecoin's next chapter, what's coming, just rewatch the first 10 minutes of this live stream, maybe 15. I covered all of this. So you're going to want to see this. For those that came in late, you're late for class. So you need, when this live stream ends, to watch the first 10 or 15 minutes to catch up on all of this good stuff that I talked about here. Okay? This is what today was about. It's about Dogecoin's next chapter that's coming this fall. This fall, it's coming. It's coming. Because right now, there's no price action to talk about. It's just sideways. Sideways. X payments, yes. Doge adoption, no. Not on X payments. We're not going to have Doge on X this year. But we will have X money, what used to be X payments, now called X money. That will happen, and that will, I mean, Doge will get a nice boost out of that, even though Doge won't be on it. Other Doge adoption, such as SuchPay, what's the House of Doge doing? What's BitOrigin got planned? Like all of that stuff, that's Doge adoption as a currency, as a payment system. We're waiting. We're waiting. October, November, DJ. That's what I've been saying, like a broken record. Aye. Doge on X payments 2028 next cycle. Huh. We'll see. It could take a while. I don't know if it's going to take another 3 years for crypto adoption. I'm very curious, this other thing about DogeOS and this stablecoin and a stablecoin being built on Doge. I'm very interested in that. I didn't mention that earlier, just thought of that. Doge and XRP ETF on the same day. I covered this as well. It's not the Doge. It's not the Doge XRP. Is it? Yes, it's the Doge and the XRP. Correct, Chris, right here. Deadline for XRP ETFs is October 17th. Deadline for Dogecoin ETFs also October 17th. So yes, that is the same day. Solana is a week before. Litecoin is a week before Solana. So it's Litecoin, then Solana, then XRP and Doge, and then a week after Doge, there's Cardano. Okay. Zia, that's hard to say on X because there's so many different personalities involved that you really have to be careful on who to follow. Because some people are just perma-bulls and I follow them for the entertainment value, not because I think crypto's actually going to do what they say, like Crypto Rover. I mean, I don't believe anything that guy says because everything's going to the moon. And I follow that more for entertainment purposes, right? So, I mean, there's so many to follow. I mean, you can go on my page and you can see who I follow and start there. No, the processing actually needs to be done before the 17th. So they'll actually start the processing right before it. The trading might start as late as the 18th. I don't know what day of the week the 17th is. But that's what happened with Bitcoin. The same thing. They actually approved it the day before. October 17th. Ooh, October 17th is a Friday. October 17th is a Friday. Interesting. Maybe October 20th. That's the day Doge is going to $1. Did you know that? October 20th. Wink, wink, nod, nod. October 20th. Doge to $1. Hello, how are you? Calm? All right. Maramello's laughing at something. Was it something I said? Maybe. Buy Litecoin and then roll it over to Solana and then roll it over to Doge. You can try that as a strategy if you think each one is going to pump. Your October 20th tickets are booked. Well, I guess we'll be seeing you on the 20th, whatever the price Doge is. Maybe 50 cents, probably 32 cents. Maybe $1. You never know. All right, gang, that's what we have for a Saturday. So, it was a sideways day, but I took the day for some education about what's coming for Dogecoin. I will not have a live stream on Sunday, so will not be live on Sunday afternoon. I'm going to be at a concert, a Tanglewood concert, meeting a friend of mine from New York out in Lenox to enjoy my Sunday afternoon. So next live stream will be Monday. I hope everyone has a great weekend. We will see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't
of this.
Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.